Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial today with the Profusion Nude Bliss palette. Isn't she beautiful? Ever since Profusion changed their packaging from the gold, you know what it used to look like, I'm sure, into this clear, I have wanted to get this palette, but every time I went to Walmart, either that slot was empty or the ones that were there were damaged. So we had to go and restock our water supply yesterday. And I said, hold on, I'm going to run over to the makeup section. And so I went over there and they had restocked. And I was like, yes, today is the day that I'm finally going to get this. Now, before, the palettes were always 10 pans and they were $5. So now they're 21, 8, 6, 7, yeah, 21 pans and they're $9.99. So that works out to be about the same thing per eyeshadow. But according to Profusion, they have not changed the formula, which I'm very happy about that because I love their formula. So I'm going to be trying one of these out in the clear packaging for the first time. So I can't wait. There are 5 finishes in here. There's matte, glitter, metallic, shimmer, and satin. And fortunately, there is only one glitter because I don't like chunky glitter in anybody's brand or formula. I just feel like it's kind of a waste of an eyeshadow because it's a very scattered, chunky thing that, yeah, I don't like those kinds of shadows. So I will probably never use that, but I am very interested in trying out the matte, metallic, shimmer, and satin shades. So, yeah, I can't wait to try this. But before I do that, I've got to prime my eyes. Now, typically when I do makeup tutorials, I start with blush, but I got a little carried away when I was doing my base makeup and I went past that stage accidentally. So I will not be doing blush or highlighter today. All right, so I'm going to prime my eyes with my Sephora 57 brush, which is the concealer brush. And this is the Morphe Solo Artist Priming Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Debut. I have used this every single day since I bought it. It's very similar to MAC Painterly Paint Pot, or it's actually a dupe, you guys. So it's about half the price of a MAC paint pot. And it sets up rather quickly, so you have to work fast. I just want to make sure I get down in all the areas that I want this to be. Okay, so if you want to know any of the other products that I've already applied, everything will be listed in the description box, just like it always is. We are in a heat wave, you guys, so you won't be seeing my hair down completely for a while because it's supposed to be in the low 90s today, in the high 90s tomorrow, and then the day after that is supposed to be in the low 100s. And I live in Massachusetts, so we don't typically get temperatures like that, even in the summer, because it is summer now. But yeah, June, if it's supposed to hit 102 on Tuesday, and if it does, that's going to break the record because the highest temperature we ever got in June in Massachusetts before this is 100 degrees. So 102 will definitely break a record. So anyways, who cares, right? Thank God for air conditioning. That's all I can say. All right, so the eyeshadow that jumped out at me from this palette that my eyes went right to is this shade right here. It's like a beautiful like rose shade. It's called Preppy. So I'm going to take my Wet n Wild large shader brush and go into that. And that shade is metallic. So I'm just going to put my brush in there. And we're going to start with that. Yeah, they said they did not change their formula, that they just changed the packaging. And I hope that is the case. Because I've always loved Profusion's eyeshadow formulas. I think as a whole, this brand is totally underrated, and I was happy to see that they changed the Profusion setup at Walmart a while back, and now they have a lot more of their products to pick from. And I love their limited edition collections too. I just think they're so fun and so creative. Okay, so that's pretty. Very like natural. I think Preppy is a good name for that shadow. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to use is, I want some, now this is a cool tone shadow, so I want something cooler. Let's take a look at some of these matte shadows. Okay, this one is called Doll, but that's kind of light. The one underneath that is called Heavenly. But yeah, these are very beige, aren't they? I was looking for something more in the brownish family. Okay, the one underneath Heavenly is Medieval. Wow, they swatch much lighter than they appear in the palette. Now there is something called Bridesmaid next to Heavenly. That's a satin. And that's like a mauvey shade that's deeper than what I used for Preppy. That would probably work really good in conjunction with that. So what does that look like? Hmm. Okay, what else can I use? Cozy? Would that be too dark? This cozy in the corner here? It's a matte. Oh, I don't know. That might be too dark. Yeah, I think that would be too dark. I'm looking for something mid-tone that I can use in the crease. What about tawny? What is tawny? Tawny is a matte. And that's a mid-tone. It's kind of warm though. And the thing that I put on my lids is cool. Yeah, that's very warm. I don't typically like to mix tones. You know what? Let me shut the camera off and think about this. And I'll come back. Okay, I thought about it some more, and this satin shade Bridesmaid, I think that is definitely going to be my best bet for this. So yeah, let's go with that. Grabbing my Urban Decay brush and going into Bridesmaid. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep. Okay, that's definitely the best match for that, I think. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. Good choice. So I'm putting that in the crease, and I'm also putting it in the very outer part of my lid. And this is blending beautifully. So yay, doesn't look like they did change the formula. So I've got a metallic and a satin. Yeah, I like that. The way this is applying and blending. And it does match that lid shade very nicely. You know what's strange is when I was touching these shadows with my fingers and then looking at the color on camera, it was very different than what it's actually applying on my eyes. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're selecting a color, is how it's going to look on your eyes is going to be different, because don't forget, just doing a bare finger swatch is not the same as applying an eyeshadow over an eyeshadow primer. Like, that's the difference. So you definitely need to keep that in mind. Okay, good. Now I'm going to take a detail brush and I'm going to go back into Bridesmaid and just put a little bit of that underneath my eye. Now, highlight shade. Oh boy. I would say Quartz, I think, is my best bet. And what is that? That is a shimmer shade. So good. We're getting to try out a lot of the different formulas this way too. Picking up a clean brush to apply this. And we're going to go right under the brow bone. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. All right, so we've tried metallic, satin, shimmer. So the only thing I didn't do then was, I'm not doing the glitter. That leaves what, matte? And there really isn't any steps left to put a matte, or there isn't anything that would work with that. Okay, now I typically like to do one eye at a time, so let me show you what this is going to look like with eyeliner. Now, you know those Revlon eyeliners I've been going on and on about? I bought the black one. I can't stop. I can't stop. I'm not buying the last color though that I don't have. It's like a pinky mauve that would have coordinated with this eye look, but I don't like pink or mauve or anything on my waterline. So I'm going with the black. This is 401 Checkmate. And in case you missed me talking about these in previous videos, this is Revlon Colorstay Multiplayer Liquid Glide Eye Pencil. Okay. So I'm going to shut the camera off, play catch up with the other eye, curl my lashes, apply my mascara, and then we're going to do lips. Okay, lashes are curled, mascara is on. Now, this is one of my favorite lip combos that I'm going to do with this. I think it would look really good with this eye look. I'm going to use the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Blushing. That's the shade. I'm just lining. And for lipstick, I'm going to use the CoverGirl Clean Color Lipstick in shade number 315 Crema, C-R-E-M-A. Everything will be in the description box, but this is the shade. I think this will coordinate really good with this. It's like a pinky nude color, and that's how I would describe this eye look too. It's like a pinky nude, so this whole thing is pinky nude, including the blush I used, which is the CoverGirl TruBlend Skin Enhancer blush in the shade Nude Flush. So they did not change the Profusion formula. I love this eyeshadow palette. I think $9.99 for 21 shades is a really good deal. Especially, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. I mean, you can do a completely nude. You don't have to do pinky nude like I did. And there's even a couple purples down here that you could do a purple eye. But I mean, there's so many choices. You know, you can go more like into the burgundy, reddish brown territory here. There's golds. So yeah, this, you can do a lot with this palette, but I think it's gorgeous. And yeah, $10 for 21 eyeshadows that are good formulas. Yay. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel when you do. And subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.